Hi, Michael Sheridan here, and welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show all about your dreams. If you'd like to call the station and come on air, tell me your dream, you can call 425-373-5527. That's 425-373-5527. The way most of you are doing it is sending them by email, and you can get all the details for that on www.dream-analysis.com/KKNW, or simply just send them to radioshow@dream-analysis.com. Okay, so this week I'm going to cover just dreams again. They've been building up into a large stack, so that's good for me, bad for you, but it means I've plenty to do each week, and there's some good ones this week. So starting off, I have a dream from April. She says, "Every night I have the same dream. I'm at a dress shop trying to pick the right dress, tearing apart clothing racks and wriggling in and out of clothes. I dedicate myself to the search, confident I will find the one if given the chance. Sometimes the dress is even at arm's length, teasing me, but it always evades me. 8:40 arrives and the stores are closing, so I trudge into the bitter blizzard outside for a new dress shop, an even better one, and the moment before I reach the door, I wake up." Okay, so dresses or clothes and dreams represent your attitude towards something that's going on in life, and it could be just your attitude to life in life. But usually it's going to be about something that's going on that's specific at the time of the dream. And so trying to find the right dress is trying to find your role or your responsibility, your attitude towards something that's going on, trying to find your niche or the way you should address it. So we look for what's really stands out here is having to trudge into the bitter blizzard outside, and we'll come to that. So the main thing is that you're searching for yourself, but you still haven't found what you're looking for, and it seems at this stage to you that you've tried everything. And like I said, clothes represent attitudes and roles. Being naked, for instance, is the best thing in a dream, because it's saying don't dress things up, just be yourself with regard to whatever the subject matter is. But that's not what we tend to do in life. We tend to dress things a particular way or adopt an attitude that we expect others will expect of us. And so we do dress it up without even realizing it. And this is easy to tell if you consider the type of conversation you can have with your kids, the type of conversation you can have with your peers of the same gender, peers with the opposite gender, peers with your parents or with elders. We dress things up based on who we're talking to. And don't fool yourself, you dress things up for yourself too, all of us, me included. So that's what this dream is about. It's saying, look, don't dress things up and just be yourself. This is what the dream is trying to do, is find yourself. So braving the cold. This is good to see in a dream. And it really indicates that the path to finding yourself is through the female side, which is the heart emotions, expressing yourself in a balanced way, allowing other people to also express themselves too. So you need to eliminate issues in the past where you had to endure someone who was emotionally cold or froze you out. It's most likely going to be a woman, and most likely going to be your mother. Okay, so next dream we have from a man, and his dream fits right in. It's titled Naked in Public. "Somehow, after a shower, which I do not remember, I find myself naked, looking at my own body from behind, and from a slight distance, maybe 10 feet, a little elevated, not at the same level. I'm at a public place, there are people there, it's sort of like a library or classroom, but I'm behind a curtain and I'm thinking I better get dressed. My dream was like an out-of-body experience because I was looking at myself from above. I noticed I did lose some weight and I'm wondering if it is good enough." I find that a bit kind of funny. So this dreamer is actually his dreams have radically changed. He had dreams about problems with the digestive system, all connected with issues to do with losing a spouse and the impact of that on him and his child and so on. And this dream, along with other dreams he's recently sent in, show a complete change of everything, complete change of perspective. So here being naked is perfect. It's just like the other dream where I was saying that would be the best way to be. It's, I now am not afraid to be myself. So enough progress has been made where he feels comfortable in his own skin. That's the best way to look at that. And what's interesting too is he's happy with this new image because he's looking at it saying, have I lost weight? I'm wondering if it's good enough. So he's wondering, is there more he can do? Can he still improve his own image of himself? And of course, you can, and your dreams will tell you how. But absolutely celebrate where you've gotten to. And another one from the same dreamer, take me to church. I was in some church where the congregation was given a part to sing, and people were reluctant to do it. So singing in a dream, church tells us it's about its spiritual side, and the singing tells us it's specifically about channeling. So this dreamer has an ability to channel, and people were reluctant to do it means you're reluctant to do it. I'm dismissive and even sassy. So you dismiss the idea that you can do it, and in the dream you continue on. You say, I'm thinking, who, me? Singing? Yeah, right. I'll show you. And then you say, all I know how to sing is amen, like in the song Take Me to Church, and I'll do that. I am singing amen. And this, of course, is what most of us do in our dreams. We see what our abilities are. This one, it's about spiritual abilities. But even if it's about a change we need to make in our diet or in our exercise regime, we usually are reluctant to make that change, and the dream persists trying to get us to do it. So this dream then switches tack, and it says, there was, however, a person in the congregation who was willing and able to sing pretty well even. So here we go from him reluctant to sing to somebody else who is also an aspect of him who is happy to sing, willing to do it, and very good at singing. So this is you. So it's saying you have the ability. We already know because it shows up in your dream, so you definitely have the ability. But it's a woman, and it means then that you need to get in touch with your female side in order for this to work best for you. I knew it, and I was happy to see her sing. She even took the lead and agreed to sing, but she also expected everyone else to sing. And of course, that's what they want you to do. They want you to sing in. So they want you to buy into the idea that you have this ability. But good for you. You held your ground and said, not a chance. No, actually not good for you. But that's what you did in the dream. So expect many more dreams in this vein that try get you, like her, passionate about your spiritual channeling ability. Okay, and the next dream we have is from Laurie. And I'll just read the whole dream and then say what it's about. It's kind of funny if you're not Laurie. I dreamt of a fence running slightly up a well-kept grassy knoll with spaced out big trees throughout. At first, I made note of 2 deers running on the other side of the fence, and then my attention was on 2 white rabbits running ahead of the deers. One was on the fence, and the other was on the other side of the fence, right beside the fence, both steadily hopping along towards something. The deer were trotting along in the same direction behind the rabbits towards the same important thing. They were running towards something which I knew I had to make a note of, but because the phone rang and woke me up in real life, I can't remember what it was at the end that they were running to. So, because you can't remember what it was, we can't tell you. But this is quite an easy dream. Rabbits are known for their having lots of young, and this dream says that you're just like the rabbit on the fence. You're on the fence about having a child, possibly a second child, because there's 2 rabbits in the dream. And we often, well, when we think of death, we think of somebody dying and moving onto the afterlife or moving back to the spirit world. But we rarely think about the reverse happens when a child comes to this side of the plane, to the physical world. So this dream shows beings on the other side waiting for you to make up your mind, because you have the 2 deers on the other side of the fence. And deers, it's a term of endearment. If you've got a child, you know exactly how they bring out everything positive in you. And you just feel amazing love for them. So deers are quite good for that. Yeah, nothing else to say. But anyway, you're on the fence. Maybe you've decided at this point. Okay, so next dream. Do we have a little bit of background? She says, my former husband has been very destructive in his actions towards me. Okay, so that's important for the context. And here are her 2 very short dreams. They're somewhat the same, but with different object at the end of the dream. My former husband is moving his belongings out of a certain area of a house, and that's good in the dream. Lots of boxes being gathered and moved, again good. When he is done with doing this activity in the first dream, all he leaves on a window ledge is a cross. In the second dream, what is left on the window ledge is a blue heart made out of some kind of stone. Okay, so we know it's about the relationship because your partner's in the dream, and we know from your comment in advance that this was a difficult relationship for you with the destructive nature of it. So the window is going to tell us, even though they're very short dreams, they still tell us a little bit. So the window is going to be about your viewpoint. This is how you look out and see the street, see the future in the dream, symbolically in the dream. And it's saying that your outlook is seriously affected by this former relationship. I'm saying former because that's where you need to get it to be a past thing. You're still carrying the issues though. And it's basically saying that you can't look out at anything without seeing this pain. And the cross is the first thing that you see. So that's clearly showing a pain that no matter what you look at, this is still in your sights because it's in the window, it's on the ledge. And then the blue heart made of stone is also saying that your heart is being affected. So your outlook and emotions, emotional outlook is affected by this too. And all that is saying that's how it is. So really don't make any huge decisions at this moment in time. Wait till the worst of this has passed, because your decisions when you're in a rebound position like that can seem crazy to you afterwards. But it's really just showing that your viewpoint is coloured because the blue heart. And okay, so here's an interesting dream I've wanted to cover for some time. It's called A Powerful Hypnotist. I'm sitting in an audience at the front of a room where a professionally dressed and pleasant-looking man who is wearing black is public speaking on stage. He glances at me and smiles. As I smile back, he mutters a few odd words that I can't make out, and then, like a magic spell, I'm suddenly powerless and under his control. Astonished, I realize he's hypnotizing his audience and casting a powerful spell to control them in the process. The pull is almost overwhelming, but I know I can fight it. I know there are angels on my side, so do visualizations of protective white light expanding around me and also around him. I see the light rising up, exploding, and breaking his magnetic hold. His hypnotic power becomes so focused on me, it feels like a laser beam. It's so concentrated, it appears like a beam of light, so I switch gears and visualize a giant shield to deflect his hypnotic force. The scene is now chaotic as I run out of the crowd, protected by my visualized shield deflecting his hypnotic energy. My shield appears like a large medieval metal shield with 6 red symbols like 6 fleur-de-lis. Though he was a powerful force and sought to control me, I knew that I could withstand his words, gaze/blast, that's how she wrote it, of hypnotic energy. I can't recall the rest of the dream, but woke up knowing I'd won and had regained complete self-control. Okay, this is one of these ones that when you wake up and you feel like that, you're thinking, great, but really, you did everything wrong in that dream. The fact that he's connected to the light, you're saying he's like a concentrated, focused laser beam, and you're saying it's so concentrated, it appears like a beam of light, and you have to switch gears to defend yourself from him. Any being in your dream that shows up with a light in their hands is definitely on your side, just like the angels that you invoke to protect you from him. Indeed, he's one of the angels. Anybody in a dream with a title, especially with special powers like he has, is also a guide. So you're calling on your guides to help protect you from your guides. It's definitely an inner conflict. And I already spoke to this dreamer, so we can say a little bit about it. First of all, protecting yourself is never good in a dream. So look, whatever you're trying to avoid in a dream, because that's something you need to do in reality. So you need to accept the message from this guy, which I'll come back to in a bit. And really it boils down to, okay, you've issues with your dad, and that's what the guy dressed in black represents. Even though he's positive in the dream, he's being cloaked in black to show fears that you've got from your dad. So you have an ability, not an ability, you have a mistrust of authority because of your father issues. And that is being projected onto your guides, or at least this particular guide, because he's trying to get you to change your viewpoint. And as you said to me, you fight tooth and claw against anyone who challenges your religious viewpoints. Well, a good clue as to what your dreams are going to ask you to do is to look at what you are clinging to the most. And in your case, they're going to pick on your dogmatic religious viewpoint. I'm saying dogmatic to exaggerate a little bit. You're not really dogmatic. but it is like opening a floodgate if we press the switch and say, tell me a little bit about Jesus. And that's fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. This is a personal dream. It's not a message to the masses. It's not a message saying to everybody that this is the way they should view the world. It is only for you. So in this dream, the hypnotist and the angels are all your guides. I'm looking at some of my notes in here. So the dream shows you pitting your guides against each other, against another evolved guide who is here to help you. The hint is the symbol of light. Yeah, we got that. And he's trying to cut through all the clutter to impress on you a higher perspective. Now, that's exactly what you want. At the same time, you see it as mass mind control. And dreams often reverse a situation to let you see the picture from another perspective, because it's easier than it is for us to see what we're doing to ourselves if we see somebody else trying to do something. So it's all about you and not a general comment. Dreams are never a general comment. Here's another one that's about Satan and Jesus. And I wonder why I'm getting all these now. Could have been because of some of the dreams I did last week. I really like this dream. You could spend a whole show on this one. It's a short dream, and I'll just read it out. And of course, realize as I'm reading it, we quite often are too close to the symbols in the dreams to step back and really be objective about it. So when you realize Satan, the word just simply means adversary in the Hebrew, and in Arabic means astray, and that's where the word comes from. So that's what its meaning is, adversary, or somebody who would lead you astray. And don't look at it as the devil or somebody that's all powerful. And Jesus, of course, we also have, people will also have their own associations with that. But try step back from the very strong personal associations and look at it objectively and see what can it be saying about you, the dreamer. So anyway, the dream is, Satan was standing on a phallic-shaped rock in the middle of the ocean. He was wearing a red robe and chains were encircling his body. He appeared sad. I felt sympathy for Satan. A lot of people switching off there. Jesus was standing on shore near the edge of the water. Hope I got them before they hit the button. Jesus was wearing white. Jesus told Satan, this will be your punishment. Then Jesus made a gorgeous sunset with oranges, pink, yellow and indigo that made everything in the landscape sparkle, the water, sky and land. After Jesus made everything beautiful, he blinded Satan. I was shocked and horrified that Jesus blinded Satan after making everything beautiful. I'd expected Jesus to be merciful. It was as if good and evil had been reversed. Okay, so you have to stay objective and not fall into talking about religion, because that's not what it's about. This dream isn't. So it's really about being judgmental and critical. The subject matter is the dreamer's spiritual approach, because Jesus is on the shore at the edge of the water, and the approach to the sea or the ocean is about your spiritual approach, because the ocean represents the spirit world in dreams. The analogy is that life comes from the spirit world. Life also comes from the oceans and the physical world. So that's the connection. So it tells us a little bit about how you're raised, things that you went through. So because you describe, and in your own words, describe what he was standing on as a phallic-shaped rock, we can't ignore that. So it's saying that you were repressed because of your adversary nature. And we will include in that sexually repressed, because you use the word phallic. You were also sad. We look at all the negative words you use in the dream. You were also sad, felt enslaved, because we have the chains, and emotionally repressed because of the chains. So this is going to be about how you were raised. But that seems all very negative, which it is. But so this is something that you have to get over. You have to deal with. And like I've said many times, we come here, we pick up issues in early childhood on purpose, so that in dealing with them, we grow and increase our awareness of ourselves. It's not about anybody giving us a magic pill that suddenly solves all our woes in childhood. It's about us growing through them, whatever they are. And the issues that we have are specifically tailored because of what we need and what we need to grow through. So that's one of the problems we quite often have, because of the way we're raised. We think it should be a one-size-fits-all for everybody growing up in life. And we think that people who have had a bad start have the least chance of achieving anything. But it may very well be their very difficult childhood has brought them light years ahead in awareness of who they are, compared to somebody who's had an easy one. Anyway, you can't tell from this side of the coin. You really can only tell from the spiritual side and what the guides say and how somebody is. But anyway, I'm kind of digressing. But this person would be very good at working with people who are oppressed. Maybe not just yet because they still have issues themselves. You're never going to be encouraged to work with other people until you've dealt with your own issues. But they feel for others who have gone astray, and that's really what feeling sympathy for Satan is in the dream. Now, most of us don't. Our upbringing has us blinded to our actions, and that's what the blinding in the dream is about. We're blinded to our own actions, and we see contempt for the homeless beggar that forces us to see him by begging outside the mall. That's not why we're going to the mall. I'm exaggerating, of course. We're not all like that, but how much am I exaggerating? What I'm really trying to make is the point that the blind people are this dream switches it around to show that it's quite often the people like Jesus in this dream who is dishing out the punishment and judgment. They're the ones who are blind. So this person, anyway, has the ability to feel and keep their heart open. That's what the importance of that is. Keep their heart open when looking at people who have gone astray. And that's kind of a unique perspective to have. So what have we got? It's actually a healing dream because of the sun. So that's good. It's a classic Jekyll and Hyde dream. Did you know that Jekyll and Hyde was actually somebody's dream that then later was written into a book? We all have a shadow self. And it's through overcoming the shadow self that we grow and increase our awareness. This is the part of our nature that's somewhat destructive. And in learning to accept it and love ourselves despite our shadow is how we really grow in life. But I really love that dream. You could really talk about it for ages. It's interesting. Even talking about the sexual nature of it is kind of awkward. And I'm aware that Western society doesn't give bringing children into the world or sexual activity the reverence it gets from the spirit world. There's many ways to leave the planet, many ways to die and get back to the spirit world, but there's only one way to get that here, and that's through the sexual act and through a woman's body. So a woman's body and sexual activity is very much revered in the spirit plane because women are the doorway between the spirit world and the physical world. But our society has completely lost connection with that. Not everybody, but in general, society has. Like the very fact that there has to be a feminist movement is very damning because we've got it backwards. Anyway, let's have a look at another dream. This one is from Connie. I felt as though I was lifted up by someone or something, two of them or more. Then enter a dark area, but not frightening. I was cautious. It was like an initiation going on. A person was holding me from the back and another was doing some initiation from the front. It was in darkness. I could not see their faces. I hold my hands up and they pour something into my hands. The next step was that they ushered me up a flight of stairs, white steps. I was hesitant, but decided to go along with it. Just as I lift my legs off the step on the stairs, I found myself in flight with the two persons or more helping me, and they were laughing. I decided to open my eyes. I saw yellow baby feathers flying off my hands, and it was beautiful. I was brought to an area where the lights are so beautiful, more beautiful than the northern lights. It was indigo, green, blue, orange, shades of yellow. I was euphoric about it and was laughing and feeling so calm and peaceful. There is no force, just gentle travel. Suddenly, in my mind, I was talking out loud. I am home. I was emotional and cried happy tears. I remembered saying out loud, I don't want to die. I want to live here forever. I am home. I fell gently on a bed of indigo/purple little flower patches. Then I woke up, realizing that I am back into this material world. I tried to get back into my dream world again, but was not able to. Okay, so a really nice dream. Really good because you overcome your fears in the dream. I mean, it's all dark and you still go along with what your guides are doing. These are guides in your dream. They're helping you astral travel. But flying with guides means that you have an ability to channel. So you have an ability to connect with your guides, get messages. And 2, I've often said many times, is a very common number for people who are channels. And you've got 2 of these in your dream. So it's not surprising. But you have to wonder why this isn't initiation or revelation right now. And now I don't know why. So something's going on in your life that's really good. you'll know what it is, so maybe you'll write in and tell us. But whatever you're doing is great, and it's showing that this is working. The other things we get from the dream is the indigo says you are clairvoyant. That's how you're going to get your messages from your guides. You're going to get images. That's how they communicate. The flowers represent love, so you're getting love from them. And the purple indicates spiritual leadership, so you've got that as well. Spiritual leadership is where you help people with an open and compassionate heart, which is really what you need to be non-judgmental. And the hands indicate you're a healer, where you can put your hands on people and pass energy into them and help them heal. So you're a veritable Swiss Army knife of spiritual abilities, which is quite unusual, quite unique. And I wouldn't be surprised if you gave me more dreams that showed more abilities. So it's quite interesting. So you're going to be right at home in the spiritual field, working with others, and euphoric, just like the dream shows. So that's really, really a good dream. And the next dream then, and we might be finishing on this one, we'll see if we can squeeze one more in, is from Kathy. She says, I constantly have dreams with my ex-husband in them, and in some of the dreams, we are still raising our kids together. It's not a recurring dream, they're always different. I've been divorced for over 15 years now, remarried, and my children are going around and on their own. Okay, so why then would you be having dreams with your ex-husband in them where you're still raising your kids together? Now, you don't give me a specific dream, so I can't give you specific answers, but dreams with children in them are frequently about your own childhood at the ages of the children in the dream. So if your children are, say, 12 in the dream, then it's trying to bring you back to when you were 12. If you dream of one of your sons, then it's talking about your male side. If you dream of one of your daughters, it's talking about your female side. Now, it's as easy as that. So you look at those ages and you say, what went on? People are usually very easy. When it's an older child in the dream, you can go, okay, yeah, that's when my parents divorced, or that's when we moved from Arizona to wherever. So it's very easy to figure that out. But it can also be about a shared responsibility now. It's not in your case. It's bringing you back. And it can also be telling you about how your past relationship still affects you today. But because of the kids in it, it's more likely going to be about you at those ages and using your past relationship to show how you were affected at that age. Okay, we'll leave it at that for this week. Thanks everybody for listening.